its 8th season. Although I'm on the board of several farm organizations and a member of others, I'm just representing myself. I'm going to read this because otherwise I'm not going to get everything done in the time period, but I don't like to read it. So anyhow, NAIS started as a way for companies selling meat on the international market to increase their sales. They quickly realized that the effort was not be cost effective and that another means of funding it had to be developed. Who better than the American taxpayer? The proponents knew the taxpayers would balk at using public money to underwrite private enterprise. They repackaged it in the always popular guise of public health and safety and sold it using the old reliable standards of fear and the assurance that the program would be voluntary. Although the program is allegedly voluntary, states such as Pennsylvania have strong-armed farmers into joining. In addition, even before the ink of the bill was dry, proponents started arguing that it would not be effective unless participation was mandatory. This is obviously finding support as these listening sessions seem to demonstrate. These similar sessions appear analogous to wardens assembling groups of death row inmates for meetings on how to get input and how to make their impending demise easier and minimize the impact. How is impact minimized when the end result is you're dead, regardless of whether you're an inmate or a farmer? In 1910, a small group of American international bankers secretly developed a way to protect and increase their wealth and power. They crafted a system that weakened their competition and had the taxpayer underwrite their risks and losses, regardless of their business practices. It was sold to the President, the Congress, and the American people under the guise of protecting the economic health, well-being, and well-being of the public. This con has been perpetuated and sustained for almost 100 years. It's called the Federal Reserve. How is the NAIS any different? A small number of special interests have gotten a program passed that allow them to squeeze out their competition, solidify their position, and have the taxpayer consumer foot the bill and lose control of their food supply. It's about control. It's not about public health, welfare, or safety. We have leaders who have supported taking control of private companies. They are now working towards control of our food system. When we lose control of our money and our food system, we have lost our freedom. We have become serfs and slaves. We have lost control of our money.
Sir, can you please wrap up?
I just have a little bit left.
Sure.
The rain didn't help this. We don't need listening sessions that beg the question. We need leaders who are asking questions like, who are the real proponents of NAIS? How do they benefit? Where in the world has NAIS-type program been implemented and what were the results? What costs and other hardships does NAIS cause the proponents to occur, as opposed to the consumers or the farmers? What specific new and existing public safety issues the NAIS will address that are not currently addressed by laws and regulations or the proper enforcement thereof? But what benefit is the program to the American public? NAIS benefits very few people on the backs and wallets of many.
Sir?
I've got 3 sentences. Americans have the right to decide what they eat, where and how they buy it, and who grows it. The NAIS establishes a mechanism for stealing those rights. We are losing rights at an unprecedented rate. We do not need the NAIS. We do not need to be reworked to lessen the impacts. It needs to be scrapped, period.
I'm Ben King, New Germantown, Pennsylvania. Grew up on a dairy farm. Been in all sections of agriculture most of my life. I'm concerned about the mandatory NAIS. It's an infringement on human rights, infringement on private property, and an infringement on freedom of religion. I don't see how an NAIS program can help. I mean, my 32 years of life experience has taught me that the federal government can be very incompetent on its best day. We're still fighting the war on drugs from the 80s, and it's escalating. And every producer knows he or she needs healthy animals, or they will be on the fast track to bankrupt. Producers have their own systems of identifying their animals. They know if their animals are healthy or not. The government, whether or not they know if the animal is healthy, they don't check them every morning. I mean, it seems to me a waste of taxpayers' money, and as taxpayers, we are bleeding already. And the producers, I noticed you had retail sales of food. Well, guess what? The producers do not get retail sales of food. They're lucky if they get 10 cents to the dollar. And the producers, quite frankly, can't afford it. Right now, milk producers are producing milk they're losing money producing milk. A dairy farmer gets up in the morning and he goes out to milk his cows. He's not making any money. He's losing money right now, $10 a hundredweight. How can the producers keep producing, have added costs implemented, if they're not getting cost of production at the most? How can new farmers start producing? The average farmer is over 65 years of age. Who's going to farm food for the next generation? Food is essential for human existence. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Gerald Dickinson. I am from Ohio.